Hey, how's it going, guys? Jackson here with Toasty DIY, and today we have another very fun gun review. So this is the North American Arms 22 Magnum / 22 long rifle, and this is actually a newer model. This is the 1860 Sheriff model with a 2.5-inch barrel, and it actually comes with both cylinders. You can get one that just comes with the 22 mag, or you can get one that comes with 22 mag and 22 long rifle. I definitely recommend going with the one that can do both because honestly, 22 Magnum is more expensive. That's these guys right here. They're about twice the size, and I actually have a little bit of both to show you all here so you can kind of compare. So here is a 22 long rifle round. Pretty decent stuff. I think this one's actually a Federal round, but I normally use like CCI, but really all 22 long rifle, if I'm being honest, fired through a revolver like this, where it's basically just, you know, one fire and done, and then when you're done, you just eject the whole entire wheel / cylinder and individually feed each cartridge out. You really can fire pretty much anything through these things. I've never had a jam, I've never had a misfire or anything on any of the ones I've owned. That's one thing I really like, is, you know, going to the range, they're not super picky about ammo or anything. And, you know, let me know in the comment section down below if you happen to have one that is, or if you've ever had any issues. But like I said, I'd show you guys the difference here. So 22 mag, and it's basically like double the size almost, you know, much sharper tip rather than like a typical blunt tip 22. And these are both, I guess you technically call them like range / you know, small game rounds. They're not like self-defense, they're not hollow point or anything like that. But to kind of give you guys an idea here, you can kind of tell the difference of the cylinders between the two. So this right here is going to be the 22 mag cylinder, and then this one right here is the actual 22 long rifle cylinder. So what you do to get the cylinder out is you basically half cock it, which it already actually was, so I'll show you what that looks like. So here is fully cocked, and then here is a half cock. So the difference between these two cylinders is right here we have 22 long rifle, here we have 22 Magnum, and as you can see, the bore is just ever so slightly bigger. So just to kind of confirm with you guys, you can't actually fit the 22 Magnum in here, at least not without some major force. It should just drop right in if you're using the right cylinder. You can see it just kind of slides in and slides out. And then once you're done firing this pistol, you basically take these, the actual rod that holds in the wheel or cylinder, and then you just go like that, and then just pops right out your empty cartridges. So it's pretty easy to do. You know, the only downside is you have to sit there and kind of go like this. It's kind of like, you know, an old-fashioned revolver, like a you know, Colt single action armory or something like that, you know, where you actually take your pin and eject each individual one. You got to spin the cylinder, so it's a little bit like that. And then to get the actual cylinder back in, you basically just line up one of these notches, kind of slide it, and it'll kind of fall into place. What I normally do is take this at the same time and kind of start, you know, gently pushing, and you'll feel it line up. So now we're ready to fire. Now this is obviously single action only, so that means you can't just pull the trigger. Pulling the trigger does nothing when the hammer's not cocked back, which in its sense is kind of, or in itself is kind of a safety, which is nice. You don't have to worry about you know, it somehow misfiring or anything. So basically each time, pull hammer back, it'll rotate the cylinder for you, and then you actually fire it. So just like that. And obviously I'm not going to just pull the trigger. We don't want to dry fire these rim fire guns like this. But one thing that they kind of made that I think is an improvement, I think it looks way cooler, is we did have a octagon barrel, so it actually has flat sides. I personally really like that touch. You know, any of the North American Arms ones I've owned before had just perfectly smooth cylinders. They also kind of changed the sight a little bit, so now it's pretty tall. And in my opinion, I think it actually looks pretty nice. So when the hammer's pulled back, you actually can't see it. But then when the hammer is not pulled back, you can't really see. But then once you pull the hammer back, you can actually see you have a really nice channel that just really nicely lines up with it, and this sight basically fills that gap. So it actually looks really nice. They also have a different pin here. It used to be on all other models, to my knowledge, there's like a little button you kind of push and then you kind of pull out. Now you basically have like this lip right here, and it's all serrated. So you basically, how I normally do it is I put my pointer finger here, push down, and then just kind of pull with my my thumb. And at first I didn't really like that, because when I was at you know, checking the gun, I'm like, huh, how do I, like, you know, because I'm used to just being able to push and then just kind of pull it, but now I'm like, okay, I can't just pull, I need to push this in and pull. And another way you can do it too is you can see they had serrations on the sides, so you can kind of, you know, in case you don't have fingernails, you can kind of push on the sides, or push on this and then push on the sides to kind of get that out. One thing that's nice is, just like most of the other North American arms, they do have interchangeable grips, so you actually can get different grips for this. This still actually is the shorter style, which I think they pretty much all share the same, I guess you'd call it, handle width. The only difference is these grips actually go past the handle, because the handle actually ends like right here, it rounds out. But then they give you these longer grips, which I really like. I actually really appreciate that, because it makes it to where when I'm ready to fire this thing, I usually hold it about like this. I guess ideally you could hold it like this. The only thing is, for me, it's kind of awkward. I don't know if it's because my hands are smaller, but I kind of naturally want to hold it about right here, just like this, and then yeah, you just fire it and it feels pretty good. I will say in the video you'll see I fired 22 long rifle and 22 Magnum. 22 Magnum on this is surprisingly painful. It's up to 2,200 feet per second, and then even at 200 yards, it's still traveling at 1,002 feet per second. And to give you an idea of the difference here, this pretty decent stuff here is 40 grain, and it travels at 1,235 feet per second. And you obviously can't be fooled by more grain. It doesn't necessarily mean like more kick. The 22 Magnum, because it's just a much larger bullet leaving the cartridge, has just much more recoil. You can definitely see it when I shoot it. Still fun, just kind of a palm bruiser, honestly. I do really appreciate the longer barrel though, because it does allow for a little bit better accuracy. The bigger grip and the enhanced sight definitely are better. I remember before with my old one, I had the shortest barrel possible. I think it was I want to say 1 5/8, if that's the shortest. Whatever the shortest was, that's what I had. It barely came past the actual release. The handle was also the standard like short handle, so it was flush with this. So you could basically, you know, you would still kind of hold it the same way. You could get about 2 fingers just like that. And then same type of trigger setup. It didn't have the smooth wheel like this. That's kind of a newer thing as well. I think some of the newer models have these, but normally they had the little indents and everything. That was one thing that I didn't really like about the old one, was it really wasn't accurate at all. Not that these are meant to be super accurate, but when I'm saying like not accurate, I mean like you could be 5 yards away and you just shouldn't really even use this sight. You just kind of want to, you know, get a general idea where you're shooting and then pull the trigger. With this one, you can actually take it to the range and actually hit some shots. I will say, oddly enough, the 22 Magnum is much more accurate, at least for me, and that might just be user error, it could be anything. I just noticed that when I'm shooting the 22 Magnum from about 5 to 10 yards, I can hit the paper, but hitting the actual like silhouette or anything else is pretty impossible in my opinion. With this stuff, it was actually shooting about where I was aiming. Obviously, it's enough recoil and the gun's so small that it's easy to kind of sway your eye and everything, but I was actually hitting like a grouped area, so I was pretty impressed with that. But like I said, it's just not as fun at the range. It costs a lot more, so and, you know, it's kind of a take back or plus and minus, you know. But I do love that I can just be at the range and literally just swap out these cylinders. I can go ahead and get 2 of them ready if I want to, or the wheels, sorry. I can get 2 of them ready and then, you know, just interchange them. So you have 5 shots, 10 total between the 2 rounds, which is nice. So yeah, I mean, overall, I really do like this. I think it's a pretty big improvement over the North American arms that I used to have. You can see here, this one actually says 22 Magnum. So basically, I'm assuming that you can, like I was saying earlier, you can buy it in just 22 Magnum or 22 Magnum and 22 LR, because I think they bore it to where they're all designed for 22 Magnum since it's slightly bigger and more powerful, but obviously you can step down to 22 LR. So that is one downside, I guess, is if you only want to shoot 22 LR. I don't know if you can buy it just like that, but I know that they do sell some other ones just like that, so keep an eye on the website. Man, I just love the shine on this is really nice too. I mean, the grip looks great. They do have some really cool aftermarket grips on the website. They even have some custom holsters for them on the website, and I think you can even get lasers from certain places if that's something you're really into. Alright, this one's gonna be a little bigger, hopefully. Little louder.
I can hear that.
God. This one hurts. Ah. Ah.
Give her hell.
Dude, that is painful. The place that I bought this from, you know, I made the joke. I was like, man, they have some of the nicest cases that come with these guns. This is the OEM case that comes with every North American Arms I've gotten has came with this case. Really nice, you know, foam on the inside. It comes with 2 keys located in the bottom that look just like this, and they're actually decent keys. They're not just like, you know, one tiny little notch and you could pick it with a screwdriver. This is actually like fairly decent. You know, it actually has some pattern to it. It does come with this nice little book here, and look at that, you can actually see we have ours on the front here, the 1860 Earl, and we got the 1860 Sheriff, by the way. I didn't make that apparent at the beginning of the video. I'm assuming this one, maybe that's the 1860 Earl, but that looks pretty sweet. I really like this part right here. But yeah, no, it definitely looks cool. It just looks like it basically has a longer barrel, and this is definitely a different design right in this area. But yeah, that'd be cool to maybe check that one out sometime. Full parts diagram there. But yeah, so anyways, like I was saying, the case, I think they really outdid themselves that they include such a nice case. And, you know, I like the stickers they put in the front, how they say, you know, own it, respect it, secure it, you know, keep it away from children, put it in a locked closet or a locked gun safe. But yeah, just really cool that it's a metal case like this with a lock. Most gun manufacturers don't do that. They give you like a plastic case, if any case at all. So really cool of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in safety, but we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment in the section down below if you have any, you know, gun like this, or if there's anything else you'd like me to check out in the future, just because I really do love learning about this stuff kind of as I go. So see you guys in the next one.